Every action of a telecom operator or vendor ultimately has an effect on the consumer. The industry's move towards a greener, more sustainable future is no different. Take end-user hardware. For mobile phones, it has been found that 2/3 of the power consumed goes to waste when the battery is already fully charged but remains plugged into an outlet. Experts estimate that standby energy drain accounts for about $4 billion in wasted spending across homes in the United States alone, and that's equivalent to 5 or 10% of an average home's annual power usage. Standby PC usage is estimated to cost US businesses $1.7 billion in energy and is causing 14.5 million tonnes of carbon dioxide emissions.
If you look at the mobile device only, the biggest consumption of energy takes place when the charger is plugged in and you are not charging the battery at the same time, it's no load standby energy, the loss of standby energy that's wasted in the air because people don't realize the fact that you need to unplug the charger. One change that we implemented across the industry that was led by Nokia a couple of years ago, we made a commitment that all the devices will have a piece of software that will pop up a reminder in the display once the battery is fully charged. And it will not only say that the battery is full, but it says your battery is full, please plug off the charger.
A number of consumer electronics manufacturers are now offering green products. Some of these work on green energy, while others have been designed using green materials and result in less waste. The Motorola Renew and the Samsung Blue Earth handsets are both made from recycled plastic water bottles that require less energy in the production process and, in turn, are also recyclable.
You know, being environmentally friendly doesn't stop with manufacturing. It also includes the materials that we choose to put into a product. The Blue Earth phone, for example, is all recycled plastic. It comes from plastic bottles. Well, this is the Samsung Impression, and what's new about it is that it has an active matrix OLED screen. You can see it has beautiful, rich, vivid colors that are going to be great even outdoors. But what's counterintuitive here is while we have all of this brightness and all these great colors, we're actually conserving energy. Because with this technology, where you see that it's black, there's no energy being consumed. In an older type display, there would still be energy consumed to make the black. In this one, no energy is being consumed, so we can even make the screens even more energy conscious by designing with that beautiful, rich black background.
In June 2009, Sony Ericsson launched its Green Heart mobile phone. The handset has been designed from the outset to be green, from components to packaging, power use to end-of-life reusability. But this is only the start. Sony Ericsson intends to implement these technologies and processes across its entire line.
Green Heart is really a whole range of sustainability initiatives that we've taken across the company. The first and most important thing is that the entire portfolio itself follows sustainability principles. So we've taken a number of initiatives to improve the overall sustainability of all the products in our range. So, for example, now moving away from paper manuals to having electronic manuals.
So the user guide's inside the phone, and just by a simple click you get into the user guide of the phone. So instead of having it on paper, in home, in your drawer or thrown away, you have it inside the phone. We save about 500 grams of paper per phone shipped. So we go from 550 grams to 42 grams per shipment, which is, 92% cut on paper shipped to each individual consumer.
What we're also doing now with one or two individual products is going a stage even further and for example, implementing recyclable plastics and a number of other specific things to do with painting to make those products even more green, even more sustainable.
We are using only waterborne paints, which is different from solvent paints. On the phone itself, we're trying out recycled plastics that comes from water and milk bottles. We only have one material at a time, which makes it possible to recycle them. If we mix, bioplastics with ordinary plastic, afterwards we can't recycle them. So in this case, we've used recycled plastics and we can recycle them once more.
We really want to make a difference. So we don't want to make one-off niche product. One ecophone doesn't sort of save the planet, so we really wanted to bring it into the bigger volumes.
The things we really liked about Greenheart, one is there's that overarching strategy about Sony Ericsson driving forward their own agenda on sustainability, but then there's also a very clear focus on linking in with the consumer, developing devices that both have strong environmental claims but are also good devices that consumers will want to use. And I think that's essential, because if you try and get a trade-off where you're asking consumers to take a less good phone for greater environmental benefit, it won't work. You've got to offer them both, and then you've got a great offer to consumers.
Mobile phones also offer the opportunity to become a green enabler for consumers, the tool by which they can check their own carbon usage and offset costs, whilst also remotely managing the power use in their homes.
Our purpose is that when you make environmental things to your phone, it has to be meaningful in the mobile context. We offset as an application that, let's take an example, you travel from the UK to here in Finland. When you land, your phone knows that you have changed country. It will actually pop up and say that, hey, you traveled from the UK, you just emitted CO2 this and this many tons, would you like to compensate that through a known fund? So you press the button, pay the price, and which we will then direct to a fund who could, for example, plant trees or things that help you to compensate your CO2 emissions.